Starting the broadcast. So this is the video.
That made me smile.
Yeah, this is the video. And we're gonna get ready to record the bonus. This is specifically the video for bonus people. What should we give them something?
Here's a secret handshake. This is a secret handshake. Here it comes. Pound it, obviously. Do a little point, grab it, grab pinky, grab the pinky, flip it around, do a high five from the bottom, like do a backhand. This is your money's worth. This is money well spent.
Thank you.
Guys, do that in person next time we see you.
Yeah, send us videos of you doing that.
You guys didn't even send photos when we did the movie night, and I was like, dance to Voltron. One person recorded me and put me on a loop.
He's a real fan.
That was a real.
No, did he not? You didn't even record himself dancing?
No, it was just me. Now we're just scolding them. They're being paid. They're paying to be scolded. I mean,
this is what you get. Hey, I mean,
somebody.
That's what you're into. Did you ever watch Flight of the Conchords?
No. That was dead.
Love it.
It was during my junior high years.
You wouldn't have been ready for it then.
No.
But now?
Yeah.
You love Jermaine Clement.
I didn't know the first exposure to him was Men in Black 3. And I feel like that's not.
Is it 3 or 2? 3.
It's 3. It's the time travel one.
Mm.
That's how far Men in Black went into the weirdness.
Yeah.
I went to 2 movies, and then I guess time travel now.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that was a cool way to do time travel.
It was also a good way to be like, Tommy Jones is kind of tired of this whole thing, so
he really doesn't want to be here. He maybe filmed in a day. There was a night
Josh
shoot.
Brolin, right?
Josh Brolin did Tommy Lee's part.
I was convinced mixed Josh and James Brolin. One's the dad.
Is that his dad?
Yeah.
Oh. I just never. No. You never just like. I don't need to spend. I don't need to spend the brain power to figure that out.
Yeah. All right.
Well, we said as much as we could on this. Let's go ahead and kick off the episode. Oh, hey there. Welcome back to the bonus episode exclusively for Patreon contributors for OnlyStupidAnswers. Today we're going to be talking about Game of Thrones. It sounded like we were about to do like a you know what I mean?
No, it sounded like you were doing like an auction, like you're calling a horse race.
There it is. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, I guess I'm gonna need my morning juice. Listening a little.
My morning juice. So we're here for a bonus episode because I want to talk more about Game of Thrones because I'm obsessed.
And the best format for that is our new series, kind of new, not really new. What if?
What if?
Where we don't try to correct things because we're not film, but we're not the filmmakers who made this, and we still probably enjoyed the thing that we're talking about to some extent. We're just saying, hey, here's some fun ideas. Hey, take them, leave them.
It's what every fan loves to do, where they speculate about what could have been,
and then they're like, you know what? If I had the money, I could have done it better than Mr. whatever his name is or Mrs.
Yeah,
because it's 2017.
That's funny, but it is a Mrs. She's definitely married to a man.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Shit. I'm sorry. I'm bad. But we want to talk about.
But first,
Saj? Yes.
But first, Sam, we didn't really get a chance to really dive into this when we're doing our review show with Trish Rushberger.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, this is your first real exposure to Game of Thrones. You watched like 2-3 episodes?
Years ago,
yeah. Years ago. I thought it was boring. You said to me specifically, you said it was boring.
That's it. Also, the incest and the kids getting attacked and stuff. I was like, oh.
Which is not boring.
No, but I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't driving with it. But yes, I did. And then for this show, I was like, you know what? Here's the twist.
I like dumping as much content into my brain at a single time as possible.
Because after I would finish a season, basically, if you guys didn't know, I watched all of Game of Thrones. And I would start out like my first dip back into Game of Thrones was the premiere of season 7. Then I watched all of season 1, then episode 2, then season 2, worked it up. So by the finale, I'd seen everything.
Yes.
When you watch that much TV that fast, sometimes you can't watch or do other things. Because I was trying to read a book after, like a real book, not a comic book. I was trying to read it and I was like, I wonder what Cersei's doing. I was like, I couldn't process the new info. I could only think about Game of Thrones. Like I was going to sleep and I sometimes I watch a little glimpse of Bob's Burgers for about 5 minutes because it puts me in a happy mood, and then I go to sleep. And I was watching it, and I just couldn't stop thinking about the goddamn dragons. And it was like, we're spending a lot of time in Marine. Like, that's all it was coming in my head. I was like, fuck, this sucks. And I guess all my dreams were Game of Thrones related. I'm like, this is really annoying. This is super fucking annoying. But anyways, yes, I watched Game of Thrones. I enjoyed it. All the parts I hated, I still hated, but there were moments that were very, very cool.
Yes. So when you say the parts you hated, what are the parts you hated?
Incest, rape, children getting hurt. But it was much less of it than I thought there was going to be. Still more than every other TV show that's out there.
I actually think that's a really interesting point because I feel like the way fans talk about the show is like it's the most relentless, angry show, and it's like I feel like you're focusing. By the way, before I say what I'm going to say, spoilers for pretty much all 7 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but I feel like you guys watch it. You guys are.
If you're watching this one, because in the first season, Viserys gets his head melted.
Yeah,
and I hated him.
Man, that was so cool. That's when I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna like this show.
Yeah, and by season 4, we take care of Joffrey. Like, I feel like people focus on like every one of your favorite characters is gonna die, and it's like that's not what it is. It's just that everybody's kind of expendable, and so that means good guys and bad guys. And so sometimes I've always had the impression that the good guys will win. It's just gonna cost them a lot.
You kind of throw that out the window, though, when Jon comes back to life. When they bring him back, they're like, oh, well, I mean, you've said this, but also watching, like, Battle of the Bastards, like, oh, there's no way he's dying.
Yeah, because it makes that point. I feel like the worst, and it is in the books, I feel like the worst thing they've ever done is bring Jon back. Because
Jon dies in the books?
Yeah, at the end of the 5th book.
Oh.
I think it's a little bit more ambiguous, like maybe he survived, maybe he didn't, but my understanding is he's dead, and he will be probably resurrected, because there was a whole mystery around him that it's like you can't just abandon that.
Now, the reason why he died made sense. The reason why they all turned on him, and I was like, then in the moment of it coming, I completely forgot because I was watching it so fast, and no one had was talking about it. I was like, hey, he's supposed to die. I just I kind of lost track of like what season that happened in. Yeah. Then I was like, oh wait, there's only one more season than the one we're watching, so it's got to happen soon. And then when it happened, I was like, oh, this sucks. Like this really stinks. And then he, hangs all of them, including the kid.
That kid had it coming.
Remember when his family got eaten by the cannibals?
Yeah, fuck you, Ollie.
Yeah. Then he killed Ygritte.
Yeah,
Man, people love her, and I'm like, she's cool, but in my mind, she was only there for like a few weeks, so like, she's not that big of a deal.
I do think my favorite episode of all, when I rewatched it, because I rewatched all of it before the season, the one I found myself surprisingly the most emotionally invested in, of the big battles at least, was the Battle at the Wall.
That is so cool.
Because there's a lot of cool ones, but that one had the perfect balance of like I care about people on both sides. It also had the best because I think a lot of those battles tend to veer either towards more emotionally gripping or way more focused on the spectacle. And I feel like that had a really good balance of like I'm emotionally engaged and the spectacles inside the wall scythe, the mammoths, the giants.
The wall scythe. I was like, I had to ask you guys about it. I'm like, what is this? Like, why?
Especially since it looks like an anchor.
So it looks like an anchor. Like, who installed this? Like, I mean, building the wall, I'm like, okay, we got magic. But I'm like, you've made a magic anchor, just this section of the wall specifically.
And maybe you can crank it back, and you can crank it back
easily. Yeah, I did love the when the giants would use their arrows, and it just took out a whole outpost,
like a harpoon. That just like take people out.
That was really cool. And the mammoths were awesome. I love mammoths.
That's another thing I like about the show is that it's not just dragons. It's dire wolves and mammoths, which are extinct animals in our world, like still exist in the north. One thing they've always hinted at, and I think it's hinted at, I don't know if they've seen it in the book, is that the White Walkers are supposed to ride giant ice spiders. And so I'm wondering if season 7 will get it's either maybe that's too much. Or maybe in season 7
we got dead bear. We got the bear that came back to life.
Dead bear, which was Bar,
which is actually one of the topics we want to talk about when we get to What If. But overall, for the show, great job making Ramsay Bolton a fucking monster. Like he is the most despicable character I've ever seen on TV. Nothing redeemable about him. Yeah, but at the same time, when the battle came, I think we talked about this on the show. When we were like gonna fight him and like get rid of him finally, that battle it doesn't have as much heart. Battle of the Bastards doesn't have as much heart, but Battle of the Bastards, great name for a battle.
Yes, alliteration, always great.
And they bring back the wildling woman, which I forget her name, who's taking care of Ronan.
Osha.
Rickon. There.
Ronan's a cool name though.
Ronan, yeah, Rickon. Which I was like, oh yeah, he's still out there.
Yeah.
Farting around in the woods. He was like, he was really pointless earlier. Maybe he has a bigger role in the books. I didn't really care about him.
Yeah, he was always kind of pointless in the show. There's definitely a sense of, especially in season 6 and season 7, where it's like, don't know what to do with this character. Bye.
Yeah, and how he died was tragic.
Tragic. I think it would have been better if we had a few more scenes with like Ramsey and him, not Ramsey torturing him, but like get to a sense of like what Rickon's been up to, who he is now, so I could engage with him as a person as opposed to just like a prop that Ramsey used. Yeah,
he was still a prop when he was running around with Bran too.
Yeah.
God, Bran had a kind of cool moment in this season where they stuck at the little finger.
Yeah.
But I just
all right.
I can't connect with him. I can't connect with him. And you also said that what's his name? Max von Sydow, who plays the first Three-Eyed Raven, had personality. He was barely there in the show though. Like
it's Max von Sydow.
He is, but like show wise, he just delivers his lines better than Bran as the Three-Eyed Raven.
Yeah, because he's Max von Sydow.
Yeah.
It's you get a lot from like having like using Ian McShane in one episode. It's like that's a great execution of what they were going to do there, because if you cast any other actor in that role, I'd be a lot less invested or a lot less convinced of the Hound's redemption arc.
That was cool. I actually yelled when he came back. So I'm like, I know he's not dead because in the new season he's walking around with Eye Patch Man, who in the first season was No, Sandor. And so I was like, well, he's not dead when he fell off the cliff with Brienne. Also, top 3 favorite moments of Brienne versus the Hound.
Yeah,
so cool.
I love it when they stop, like they're both trying to fight like knights, and then there's a point in that fight where they're like fucking, they're biting each other and kicking each other in the groin and shit.
She like bites his ear off or something. Oh, so cool. And that fall off the cliff was one of the coolest just things to see on TV. And it was just a cool moment for Arya. Man, do you get a sense of how slow things move in that show? Not even like shit's happening, but like main goals. Like it took 2 seasons for Jaime. Like he got captured and then got back to King's Landing in season 4, maybe. I don't remember. Like mid season 4 with Brienne. No, early season 4 because Brienne was there when Joffrey died. Yeah. It just things took. And when Jon was taken by the wildlings and he had sex with Ygritte in the cave, and it's like, oh, we're never gonna leave the cave, which meant more later on. I was like, okay. Sorry, I didn't get that.
Yeah, you weren't as invested in it. Yeah, that's fine.
Not that she wasn't great, but I just didn't get attached. That like whole thing like took 3 seasons to build up, like that relationship and that betrayal and everything. Yeah. And everyone quotes, "You know nothing, Jon Snow." I'm like, oh, that's from this one part, which watching in the speed I did not sink in at all. But so when Dany and him get together in season 7. It does not mean as much. I'm like, this is really, you're shoehorning it in hard in season 7.
Which shoehorning?
Dany and Jon getting together. I'm like, you're setting it up a way a normal TV show would. Yeah. But the way you guys have been handling relationships is top notch. My favorite relationship is Brienne and Jaime. That one I love the most. I don't think if I like it anymore. I like Shay and Tyrion, but then everything they did with Shay near the end was. You explained it to me that it was more ambiguous in the books, but. Is
what I've been told.
Yeah, is what you so when that whole twist happened, I got it in the sense of how the show was working and where it needed to go. Yeah. I wasn't happy with how they did it.
Yeah, I still feel like
and him killing her was more of that seemed is like a crime of passion, whatever. It still felt weird.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I feel like the big betrayal, because of the way I understand things play out in the book, as opposed to the way I saw things play out in the show. I think in the book, it's Shay that kind of betrays him, which they basically set up the whole old yeller, like, I don't love you anymore, leave, to like set that up. I think it would have been more, as a show watcher, it would have made more sense and also hurt me more if it was Bronn.
Yeah,
Bronn is so like looking out for himself, but I care about his relationship with Tyrion more.
Yeah.
So if he was like sold Tyrion out, that it would track, and also it would kill me.
Or maybe if they hammered home that Shay was more of an independent agent too, because what they didn't, they were like,
I'm fully convinced she was in love with him.
Yeah.
So the betrayal doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Also, Tywin, loved him.
That actor's great. One of my favorite things is when Arya's, which apparently is not in the books, when Arya is his cupbearer.
That is great.
It's so good.
And the whole thing of it made the faceless man way cooler then.
Yes,
way
when he first shows up, when she was heading to Dorne, right? No, not Dorne.
Not Bravos.
Bravos. Yeah, Bravos. She was heading to Bravos with the faceless man. Dorne was the Sand Snakes.
That's it. Yeah.
That whole thing, which we could have glossed right over. Anyway, when she was heading to Bravos, I'm like, fuck yeah, the faceless man. And then you get 2 seasons of like
2 seasons. Yeah.
Like, maybe this wasn't what I was hoping for.
And when she kills that one guy when he's like, beating up girls, that is, I got it because I'm like, one, you set up enough that this guy's a piece of shit. Like I got it. The way she killed him, I'm like, okay, like
it's rough.
I know it's revenge. I know, I get it, but I'm like, Jesus, can you chill? Like
that whole thing, I thought was a little the amount of effort they put into making him awful.
Yeah,
I was like, this is a bit much. So then the murder part's like, oh, we could have just told this whole arc down just a little, just dial it down a notch.
But I knew Tywin. I knew the actor from stuff. I was like, what the fuck is he in?
A bunch of stuff. He's Last Action Hero.
Last Action Hero is the one that's on Prime, and I started watching it. God damn it, I love that movie.
I want to see it again. I loved it so much when I was a kid.
Also, it's directed by the guy who directed Predator and Die Hard, and so it's just like, and then this is him like breaking down the action genre. And I'm like, I loved it. I only got to the part where, spoilers, Cartoon Cat shows up, like the detective, and they're like, how are you guys not seeing this? There's a cartoon walking around. It's like, yeah, he's the best detective we have. Yeah. He can say whatever he wants. And then they go back to them like arguing. So funny. But yeah, he's the main antagonist. Terrifying in that movie. And his glass eye bed. I forgot that he switches them out. Yep. So cool. Anyways, Last Action Hero. If that ever comes to Netflix, we're going to be doing a stream. Because that movie... Classic. I think that was my favorite movie of my childhood until like I hit my teens and I started watching, other movies. But so good. Anyways, he was great, and him dying was really cool. That was a really powerful scene. And something weird happened when Tyrion left, and it was really cool that he was going to meet with Dany. Sorry. All you guys jumped down my dick when I was like, I called her Khaleesi, even though everyone called her. Again. Yeah, it makes sense. Anyway, it's not important. Also took me to season 6 to be like, oh, his name was Cal and he's Khaleesi, whatever.
It's a title.
Yeah, it's a title. Yeah, he's a Cal and she's Khaleesi. Did not.
Aquaman.
Yeah, didn't get that. Also, he's not that big in season 1, and then in Aquaman, he seems a lot bigger now. I think he bulked up. Sorry, what I'm trying to say is, when he got to Marine, something weird happened to him. Something weird about how I liked him was different. Like maybe just I was so used to him in this setting, and now he's over here. Cool move, like story-wise, but something didn't click. Like
I think maybe it's because he didn't have the same cast of characters to play against.
Yeah,
and so part of his appeal was him playing the game. Yeah, and so now he's dealing with like dragons and slavers and shit, and it loses some of its punch.
And he looks so dumb. He looks so dumb. He makes moves that are smart, but he's doing it without talking to anybody. Like he's like, no, I must know more because I'm a Lannister or I'm Tyrion. I'm cunning. And like when he tries to do the deal with the slavers, and like it makes sense. Like you're like, okay, if you guys are gonna start like murdering everybody and like the whole like cities and unrest, and you're like, okay, we have 7 years to figure it out. If not, we're going to come and like torch your city. Like, I think that's a harsh but reasonable thing to say. And then they turn on him and they like come to attack Marine. I'm like,
it's literally the same thing. Now that you say it, it's literally the same thing with this past season where he has a great plan.
Exactly. Yeah.
That falls apart once the person's like, nah, I don't want to do it.
Yeah. Right. Like that doesn't. It seemed. From my point of view, I'm like, oh, this is just setting up that he's kind of dumb and he doesn't know what he's doing.
I don't know.
Which is a bummer. But Sam is great.
Especially considering the way he figured out which one of the small council was ratting him out to Cersei. All the stuff that he did in seasons 2 and 3.
Yeah.
It's like, that guy is on point. And now that I don't know. It's kind of like.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb. And also the moment, like, when the dragons break out of the pyramid by themselves. I was like, could they have done that the whole time? What made them leave it now? Yeah. Also, the whole arc of you trying to learn how to tame your dragon, throw that out the window.
Doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist at all. Like it basically just comes back to save the day, and you're like, well, it must have matured on its own.
Yeah. Or I think there's even an argument that can be made that moment where she burns the rest of the cows. and its way of refining herself, redefining herself, and that sense of confidence has a deeper connection with the dragon.
But that happened.
That's me assuming things. The show doesn't say that.
That happened after her getting saved by her dragon, when like the
in the thing, but it's still not listening to her, because remember, it's like sleeping and she's trying to go back and it doesn't care. Yeah. And it's after she does that she leaves all the Dothraki, and then she just comes back with the dragon. It's like, hey, everything's fine. It's like, what?
Yeah, they really button that up.
But so like, even if she gave a line where it's like, I feel more like myself, I feel more like the dragon. And then he says something, and she's like, "Wait!" And then she leaves and comes back. You're like, "Okay, we hand waved it, but at least there's some sort of explanation."
And Dario, played by Ed Skrein,
yeah,
whatever his name is, who was Ajax in Deadpool, great guy from Orphan Black. Forgettable when he's in it, but great for him to get a role in Game of Thrones. Yeah. That was recurring, and then finally they were like, "You know what? We're done." And like that scene is so weird, because it's just like it felt to me like the writers were like, we really don't have anything else for you. We don't want you coming over here, so we're just gonna leave you here.
Yeah, but I did love the scene, because another problem with the show is like, so Tyrion gets there, and then Dany immediately leaves, and then so like I never really bought their rapport until that last scene in the season 6 finale with them, where she's like, you know, the part that scares me is like, told him to leave, and I just don't care. Like, I don't give a shit. And that was the most I understood her since she'd been in Marine. And then like his role as her hand, and like the advice he gave her and all that stuff, is like, oh shit, I'm into this. Like, I am down. So, scene on the show, favorite character, favorite good guy,
Brienne.
Favorite good guy is Brienne.
Probably, yeah. Podrick.
Their duo. I just like their duo.
It's kind of like, I don't think I have one. Like John gets boring sometimes when he talks. Like, he's really like a badass when it's in battle. Yeah. But something about his character is so vanilla. Like, it's so like, I honor, I won't lie, I won't blah. And I'm like, yeah, but like, you know, this show's about dipshits and, you know, jackasses. So it's like, you can. Yeah. I'd like it if you kind of loosened up a little bit. But he's cool. He's definitely cool. Arya in this season, I was like, you know what? Not on board with the Arya train anymore. Like, she's obviously cool whenever she shows up. I think I really like the Hound. Bad guy, but cool moments.
I love his arc the best, I think.
Yeah, he's and that's what we like. We like the anti-hero. We like the guy trying to redeem himself. And so I'm on board with him. Okay, so Brienne, Podrick, Tyrion, even though they're making him look real dumb. Yeah.
His plan, though, by the way, even though it immediately falls apart, his plan when they get to Westeros, I still think is really cool. Yeah. Like, the way he breaks it down, like, we can't do it with an invading army, so we're going to send the invading army to Casterly Rock, and then we're going to use people from Westeros to take down the, you know what I mean? It's dismantled pretty quickly, but I still think it was a cool plan.
Yeah, because they didn't know about Euron. They didn't know anything about Euron. Nope. Yeah, I think that, and Sansa I like. Yeah. Like, she's definitely meant to be the annoying little girl in the first season, but they get over that. Yeah. As soon as her dad dies, like that entire thing's gone, and it's her really having to rebuild herself and figure out what her identity is, which is really cool. And I think last person, man, I wish Missandei and Grey Worm had more to do. I wish they don't. They like literally just stand there or translate. Yeah. Which is a bummer, because they have a cool look, and I'm like, I would like him as an Unsullied is cool. Yeah. And then when they do it in season 7, I'm like, cool, you know, because they've been setting this up, but like, it doesn't quite mean as much to me, at least. But anyways, yeah.
Favorite villain?
Tywin. I just liked how cunning he was. He was like, you guys don't. He's like, you guys are all acting like children. This is how it works, and I'm going to fix it no matter what, because like, I'm tired of you guys complaining. Like, we have to play these games. I know how to do it better than anybody. And then finally, he's like, even when like, he clearly hates Tyrion, like that gives you a good reason to hate him. But he's just so cool. Also, I like Jaime. Besides that whole like rapey scene he does with Cersei, which is totally
doesn't exist.
Yeah, which you know, that's a horrible like thing to say because it was a rape scene, but like it sucks because it completely derails his character, and then you try to move on like nothing happened, and you're like, no, it doesn't work. Villain. I mean, Cersei's real good as a villain.
Yeah, I like. It's interesting because when you're talking about Tywin, I realized like the Tywin Cersei dynamic reminds me a lot of the in Breaking Bad, Gus and Walt, where Gus is the bad guy, but he has things under control.
Yeah.
And Walt's like, I know better. And it's like, no, you're smart. It's not that you're not smart. It's just you're so emotional and you're fucking everything up. And it's like that's Tywin and Cersei where Tywin is like, no, I got it handled. And Cersei's so emotional about everything that she just fucks everything up.
Yeah. I like what they did with Tommen a lot.
Yeah.
Could really do without the High Sparrow bullshit. I was really tired of that. 2 seasons too. 2 seasons. Yeah, they could have wrapped that up at the end of the first season. Awesome moment when they blew up the Sept.
Yep.
So cool. What was I gonna say though? I had a
Miss Marjorie though.
Marjorie's good. I like Marjorie overall, even though like they kind of like tried to set her up to be like, you know, trying to take care of herself.
Yeah.
It really felt like she was trying to take care of her family.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of respect for that. So I was like, I don't really buy if anyone dislikes her. I don't think anyone did, like viewer wise. But
Cersei did. Cersei hated
her. But villains, Tywin was really good. Was that really the only like antagonist I could like get behind?
I like what they do with Joffrey because he is the worst.
Yeah.
But you know where that actor did a really good job of tracking it as a person. Like Ramsay, I never bought as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Joffrey's like, oh shit, I could run into somebody like that. Like not without the power.
Yeah.
But like just that petulant attitude.
Like I love the scene. And, you know, I'll throw Joffrey in there because I love the scene. I think it's during the wedding or birthday or something where Tyrion presents him with the Book of Kings. And then he gets presented with the Valyrian sword or whatever. And he just chops it up. And I'm like, fuck Joffrey.
Yeah.
God, you're such a twerp. Yeah. I want to just shove you into a toilet. God, I hate you. Great. So, you know what? Great. But, yeah, I liked Tywin as the villain because he just made sense.
Yeah.
You hate him. Because you hate him, you should hate him, but he's just so smart.
Yeah.
And Cersei, everyone was like the scene that happens when she has to walk through the city naked, and be like thrown like she's pissed on and thrown like shit and trash at. Like it sucks, and I'm real like as it progresses. At first, you're like, yeah, fuck Cersei, because she's the worst. And I don't know the time frame of how long she's in that room, you know, in the cellar. Something about that didn't quite stick with me because of how horrible she is and what I knew she was capable of doing in future episodes. Because I know she blew up the Sept. So I'm like, I'm not feeling for you right now. I'm like, this is horrible what's happening to you, but you're awful. Like I don't like it. I don't think I'm connecting. Maybe that's just me. I didn't get it. Anyways, overall, I think those are my villains. Good guys. Season 4 is my favorite. I miss Pedro Pascal a lot.
So good. He's so good in that season.
And he's such a good flavor. Like Dorne, Dorne's pretty to look at.
Yeah.
But everything else that comes out of it, I was like, I don't give a shit about what's happening here. But if he stayed around, I'd be like, oh, I want to see him and Tyrion and Dany all team up.
Yeah, it's tough because his death still like it makes me angry.
Man, his head just gets smashed like a pumpkin.
That was a moment where it's like, I don't know if I'm because that same season you get the rape, and so then that happens, and it's like. I might be done with the show, man. Just because it feels so. That was the point where it kind of felt like it tipped more into like, ooh, how can we make things worse? As opposed to like just telling your fucking story. It's like, ooh, how can we just really make the audience suffer? It's like, fuck that, man. And even rewatching the show, I'm like, this is still rough. It's still rough. So graphic.
Coolest visuals. Battle at the Wall, Battle of the Bastards. And actually, and with the new, what's the newest season with the dragon?
Spoils of War with they call it the Loot Train Attack.
The Loot Train Attack when they come over the ridge, all the Dothraki, so cool. And when they go through Valeria, I love that scene. It's so pretty. And like that's the first time Tyrion sees a dragon. Like he knows that they're real. I love that story where he's talking about like how he wanted one as a kid. So cool. But yes, we want to talk about season 7.
Yes.
We wanted to talk about. You had some ideas.
I did have an. Okay.
There are some criticisms of this season, even though more people watched this season than any other one.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
And as you brought up, like things happen so slow in earlier seasons. I'm actually kind of forgiving of the pace of this season because I do think some of the like 5 and 6, like five. The 2 seasons dealing with the High Sparrow and the 2 seasons dealing with Arya, like things drag.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me that the pendulum swung the other direction where it's like we're booking now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I wish that maybe they could have done it when all the books were done, so that they could have paced it like knowing that like we can wrap up the whole Faceless Man shit in a season. You know what I mean?
It would have been cool if they kind of split the difference. Like you had a season and a half, and then taking half of this and putting that in season 6.
Yeah.
And you end it at Spoils of War, like at the loot train battle, because then you have Jamie falling to the bottom of the lake, and then you have 2 years to wait to figure out if he's dead or not. Gee,
spoilers. But so for me, I rewatched it before the final episode. This season 7. First 3 episodes are really good. I like them a lot. Spoils of War, which is the loot train attack, amazing. That's no 3. 3 is where John and Danny meet for the first time,
cool.
which I thought was executed perfectly. Then 4 is the loot train attack, which I think is that whole episode. I think is one of the best things they've ever done. It's also when Arya returns to Winterfell.
Nice.
5, it's where it's like, oh, you really feel that it's a shorter season because they go through like 2 episodes of plot or at the speed that the rest of the season had gone. Not the rest of the show, but the rest of that season had gone. They go through like 2 episodes in one.
Yeah.
And then the big Beyond the Wall episode, which for me is the weakest link of the season because that's where they go to get the white.
Cool moments.
Yes.
A lot of cool moments.
And then
that should have been 2 episodes though.
Yeah. And then the finale, which was good overall, except it still suffered because it depended a lot on the episode before it. So a game I was playing with myself is because the obvious answer, I think, to make it work is you make the season 10 episodes, but you can't because every episode has like a big battle in it. Like, as opposed to like, hey, the big battle's in the second to last episode. It's like every other episode has a major set piece that costs so much money.
That's crazy because it's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, HBO, but this is your golden goose.
The most expensive show on TV.
Yeah.
Easily.
But it's your golden goose. The people are hacking you like crazy to get to it.
Yeah.
Like they want it. I think, but man, with the big leak that happened, I get maybe it's a little safer to not spend that much money. But I would have watched 10 seasons. I would have like
10 episodes.
10 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Would I? Yeah. I would have watched 10 seasons of these episodes. Yeah. So you can just spread out each episode, make it 10 episodes a piece.
So for me, the game I was playing with myself was, what if, again, the weakest thing was Beyond the Wall. Could you make changes to Beyond the Wall that maybe benefit not just that episode, but the season, but literally keep basically every other episode the same? That's the game. That was the challenge I gave myself.
Fun game.
Yeah. So the first 5 episodes all the same. Last episode basically the same, but rework Beyond the Wall. So this is my what if.
Hit us with it.
All right. So episode 5 ends with our band of heroes walking into the snow. Right.
So cool.
Start off episode 6 same way with the map shot because the map shot is dope and it helps you establish like, hey, we're way north. Cut right to you see these guys walking through the snow and they're all like side-eyeing each other because we saw in the last episode that most of them have reasons to hate each other. But immediately they look up and they're at that giant spear hill thing and the Hound's like, that's what I saw in my vision. So now we don't know how long they've been trudging from the wall to this point. Cut right to the Hound like, that's what I saw in the vision. They're like, oh shit. So they start heading that way. They maybe find one of those the body parts laid up in. Like
one of those spirals?
Spirals, those like designs that the whites make out of body parts.
Oh God, and it's so cool.
Yeah, and so John and Tormund probably talk like, what the is this? And Tormund's like, they've been leaving them all over the north. Like we don't know what they are. And John's like, I saw those same runes in the cave.
In Dragonstone, yeah.
So maybe they mean something. Establish that. As they're walking, they're kind of like, so what's the maybe in that moment Tormund brings up like, obviously you don't need the whole army to make those. So they send out scouting units. So John's like, yeah, we need to get one of those scouting units. So we establish why a group of whites would not be connected to the major army because you're not going around making runes with your whole army.
Yeah.
So they find the group, basically plays out the same where they kill all of them. They find out you kill the White Walker that made the whites. All the whites die. Great. Get one of them. It screams. They're like, oh shit. They see the whites coming. Horse rides up. It's Cold Hands.
There you go.
He's like, I need to get you guys out of here. And of course, John's like, what? Like, wait, Benjen, what? We've been trying to find you this whole time. He's
For
like, John.
7 seasons.
Benjen's like, John, you need to go. John processes. He's like, no. He throws Gendry on the horse with the white. Says, go to the wall. Because that's all they need to do. They just need to get a white to the wall. In John's mind, it doesn't matter if any of the rest of them make it. Like, we'll do our best to get to the wall on our own, but you need to go. So Gendry on the horse rides off with the white. As far as John's mind's mission's done. Now they just need to survive. Benjen's like, I'm going to say, for this hypothetical situation, this what if that I'm saying, there's tunnels within the Spear Mountain thing.
Cool.
So they go to hide in the tunnels as they're fighting off white. Like, probably what happens, the whites are coming. Benjen's killing with the fire flail, fire swords. I love any weapon that lights on fire. I'm all about. Teach me the trick. I want to know. Like if I live in that world, the second I see Beric and Thoros do the flamethrower thing, teach me that trick. I want to know how to do it. So they go into these tunnels. Night falls. They're because the tunnel network. They're hiding from the whites, and Benjen admits that like this is just a wave of the army. Like the second more of them show up, but we can't stay here. And they start to like light a fire. He's like, you can't, or they'll find you.
Can I ask a question really quick? Did they ever explain why Benjen's dead?
He's undead. He says when he saves Bran, I believe he says, I was attacked by whites, I was dying, and the children of the forest saved him by doing the same White Walker trick with Dragonglass to the heart.
Totally missed that. Continue. Yeah. Sorry.
So this is an opportunity for John to ask Benjen these questions. You may have noticed in my initial pitch, I've skipped over all the like interactions. Situations like now we're in the cave, this is where those happen. Tormund and the Hound. Great. Yeah, that was a great moment. All those moments are great. And now, because that was my one problem, I was very down with the faster paced seasons because we're just cutting out, like, it doesn't mean, people keep using the term fast travel. It doesn't mean they're traveling faster. We're just not spending episodes with them. Weeks have happened between episodes. That's fine. Cut out the boring shit. You've earned it. We've done the time. You know what I mean? My problem with Beyond the Wall is that we spent the internal logic of the episode doesn't track because we spend time with them going to the thing, and then Gendry's supposed to run back within the same episode. Yeah, and you brought up an interesting point about running in cold weather. What happens? Because you didn't see Wind River with me. A huge plot point in the movie Wind River is that like if you run in below freezing temperatures, there's a good chance your lungs will explode. Jesus Christ! But again, you're in a fantasy world, so I could let that slide. It was just the fact that like. It just, the episode asked me to accept a lot. And this version, I think, maybe eschews that. Because now Gendry's getting back to the wall on a horse. Yeah. And again, nobody in this team, their whole goal is just to get back to the wall themselves alive. The white's gone. They send it with Gendry. Mission accomplished. Maybe to add some drama, horse falls into a river. He has to drag it. Yeah. And then while these interactions are going on beyond the wall, you get some setup with some of the conversations between Dany and Tyrion. Maybe you even get, like, we see Gendry gets to the wall with a thing. He sends a raven. And you get Dany getting the raven being like, so what do we do about the other guys? And Tyrion's like, we got the white. That's what matters. They knew that. Mission accomplished. And we don't get Dany being like, I want to go save him. Any of that shit. None of that. Back at Spear thing, while they're in the cave system, they hear something. Zombie bear attack. Oh, in the caves. Very cool. Yeah, zombie bear attack there. Thoros gets mauled. I think somebody should lose a limb. One of the things I think we should raise the stakes. Like maybe Jorah loses a fucking arm or some shit. Like, man, he's been through a lot. Maybe Gendry. No, Gendry's gone. Gendry's running the wall. Somebody have. Who's Eye Patch Man? Sorry, Beric. Nah, because he might not make it out of this version of the episode. Oh, gotcha. Okay. But so Thoros gets mauled. Let's say somebody loses a limb. Maybe the Hound. Nah. He's the big street. He's your wall. You need somebody super strong. I'd probably say Jorah. We're going to continue to punish Jorah. Benjen. Because we have no connection to him whatsoever. So, but hopefully through this, him being a part of this group, we're building a connection with him. Yeah, good. So bear attack, they realize they stop that, but they need to get out of the cave system. So the next day, and probably some of the conversations are kind of like, up here in the winter, like, who knows how long we've been here? It's been night for a long time. Like, just like when you get up north, like nights last for days. Cool. That kind of thing. So they don't know how long they've been up there. They go to escape the cave system. ice. Like they go to the ice river. It's cracking. Like shit, we need to go. This is where they get trapped on the ice island.
Which is cool set piece.
It's a cool visual, a cool thing. So the ice breaks. They're like, shit. You know what I mean? Intercut more scenes. I also have a scene idea for Sansa and Arya in this revamped version of Beyond the Wall, but I'll save that for a minute. So ice breaks. They're like, I guess we're stuck on here now. Maybe this is where we cut to Arya and Sansa. Basically happens the same way, except I thought it'd be interesting if Arya confronts Sansa while Sansa's setting up a family. Like she sits down with Bran and Arya, like, hey, we haven't seen each other in a long time. Like, let's sit down as a family and talk. And maybe this is where Arya confronts her with the letter. And then they basically have that same fight, except Sansa's like, Bran, like, can't you help us? And Bran conveys information, but it's not fucking helpful because again, he doesn't know how to give third eye. So like he's like, yeah, Sansa, you have thought about being the Lady of Winterfell and being queen.
Yeah.
It's true. It's not that it's not true. It's just not pertinent information right now. And Arya's like, yeah, you have, and he tells Arya, yeah, I've seen you think about killing Sansa, which again is true because they've been through a lot. They never really liked each other. So it helps. It tracks with what we know about the characters,
and it tracks with how much I don't like Bran.
Yeah, exactly. And that is the one problem, is it makes Bran less likable, but it also adds believable fuel to the fire of Arya v Sansa that I don't know if we got. And so then now Sansa feels alienated from both Bran and Arya. So she turns to Littlefinger more, because I do like, I don't think this was the intent necessarily, but I do like the fact that
why would she turn to Littlefinger though? Like
because who else does she turn to?
She seemed pretty independent without him. Like,
yeah,
and she was running without Bran and Arya.
Yeah,
and she has.
But now she feels, not only does she feel alienated from her family, but she feels kind of assaulted from her family. Is maybe the way you could take that.
You could, yeah. Okay.
But I do like that when the idea that when Littlefinger makes him play that stupid game of like, what's the worst case scenario, and she gets to the Arya wants to be a Lady of Winterfell. She's like, that's bullshit. Yeah, this is bullshit. You know what I mean? And she realizes that she should trust her family more than the people around, than people who aren't her family. She can trust Arya. She can trust Bran. And so hopefully you'd set some of that up in this episode, while also making the argument between Arya and Sansa track a little bit better.
It basically, in that argument, Sansa looks completely normal, except for like that weird decision to send Brienne away.
Yeah, which I guess maybe just is supposed to be, because the scene before, it seems like Littlefinger's trying to set up as Brienne as like a tool. Yeah. And so Sansa's like, fuck that, you're out of here, Brienne, I guess.
Man, John's gonna be real happy when he comes back. He's like, "Oh, you guys got rid of Littlefinger? Oh, thank God!" Like when he threatens her, when he threatens Littlefinger. Yeah. Okay. And then so you're back on the lake.
Yeah, we're back on the lake. They're surrounded. They're like, "How do we get out of here?" And again, maybe a good chance for more of those character interactions that we lost over at the beginning. Night King on the horizon. Oh, right,
shit. When you said that, someone above us
this is like
rumbled their chair, and that was
perfect
very
timing.
Cool. I hope you guys can hear that.
So Night King up there, Beric has is like, maybe if we take him out, they're all done.
Yeah, nobody fucking thought about that. They're like, did any of them have like a bow and arrow or something? Like,
no, not that we saw.
But they had dragon glass.
Yeah.
So anybody want to just try throwing, like, anyone a knife thrower? Yeah. Like, could they like hawk it
all the way?
Yeah.
Back. He comes down to the lake, sets his hands on the water. The water starts freezing, and the whites start making it like, we're fucked. And so
just waiting.
Yeah. So now they're like, well, I guess this is all we. Oh, and obviously the same, like another day or so, however many days have passed, and Thoros is dead because of his wounds. That I like the way that played out. Night's King lays his hands on the water, freezing the water, because it's not like you'd be like, well, why didn't he use that in Hardhome? Well, that's ocean. This is like a lake. This is, and it's like feet as opposed to yard. Like I feel like that's
it's winter right now. It makes sense.
Well, and I want to establish when they're talking to Benjen, because he's the one that brings up there's runes on the wall. He's like, they've been leaving those, or there's magic in the wall. They've been leaving those runes. The more people they take into their army, the more of those body part things they do, the more their power grows. And
so they should establish that, because that makes total sense.
And so John's like, well, he's like, because if magic alone could stop the White Walkers from crossing, you wouldn't need a 700-foot wall.
Yeah.
So the fact that their army's so big still means that there's a threat to the wall. That without dragons, they could still find a way to break through the wall, and maybe talk about whites can get through the wall. White walk, the magic stops white walkers, which is technically what Cold Hands is, what Benjen is. So he can't go through the wall, but that's the reason we can take dead bodies across.
Gotcha. Because I was going to ask.
I don't know if that makes sense.
No,
but I would at least say that
they got the corpse across.
They got the corpse across fine. Although they didn't.
They flew it. So they.
Yeah, they did fly it. So maybe that's the reason.
And they flew it to Marine or whatever, and then over to Dragonstone, and then to King's Landing.
They flew to boat. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
so. Anyway,
a lot of weird rules.
But basically establishing that like Benjen on his own, just as an individual, whatever the fuck he is, can't cross the wall. But White Walkers with a huge army and leaving magical body runes might be able to take down the wall on their own. So there's still a threat.
Yeah, I like your explanation of why the runes should play a bigger role, because they were there in like up to season 3 when they were still up north and trapped up there.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
So he explains that probably in the cave system conversation.
Yeah.
So now we see the Night's King, they freeze in ice, they're being attacked, they're overwhelmed. Again, we have not established Danny's bummed that they're stuck up there. We haven't said like, I'm coming to save you. So they're fighting, ice is breaking, John falls into the water, surrounded by zombies.
Of course.
And it's like hope is like maybe he's being taken by the current and he can't get up with ice. All's lost. Through the ice, he sees fire. Ice around him melt. He's able to get back up. Danny's dragons are fucking wrecking shit. Hell yeah, we're saved. So didn't expect this. The whole plan was not to get Danny up there. There's like, this is our moment. As they're getting people on, Barrick's like, fuck this, I'm going for the Night's King. So he starts going for the Night's King. Barrick does. The whole bit with John getting trapped in stone, we've eschewed that. Benjen dies in the fight. Barrick dies in the fight.
How's Benjen die?
I don't know. I just something cooler than what we got.
Does he get like? I don't think he's dead though. I don't think he's dead. I hope not.
But because, like, assuming that he is, and also that adds stakes. Oh, you know who should lose a limb? Tormund. Tormund should lose.
Tormund would look awesome if he lost a limb. Maybe like a leg.
Yeah.
That way he can still like fight with his arms and like.
And it raises the risk. Like now they're trying to get him back, and we saw Thoros die from his wounds, so we're trying to keep Tormund from dying from his wounds.
Yeah.
But the Thoros, Barrick, and Benjen all die in the battle. And we've already established that the Night's King has magical freezing powers. So when the dragon, I said this in the episode, when the dragon comes at him, right before the dragon blows its heat, he sucks the heat out of the air. So you're like, oh shit, this guy's a nightmare anyway. Then he spears it and it falls into the ice. Dramatic, everybody's sad. They fly out of there, having lost a dragon, Barrick, Benjen, and Thoros. And then the episode basically plays out the same. And then John's still cold and frozen because he did fall in the ice before Danny saved the day. Yeah. So the whole like her seeing his wounds and then like peeling. I like that where they have to crack the clothes off his body. All happens. Basically, we've hit all the same major beats, just in a different order that I think makes more sense to me. Okay. And then we also get a chance for John to connect to Benjen, and also Benjen to explain some like, hey, I know it looks like we fucked up by giving them a dragon, but they still probably would have crossed the wall anyway. Yeah, I like this. You got a good pitch. And then it ends basically the same way. And then here's the thing though, and here's why, like when we do these what ifs, it's not like we're doing it better. We lost Barrick, so we don't know how that plays out in season 8. In this version I pitched, Barrick dies. And also we have one less person on the wall, because I think that was the reason more people didn't die, because both Barrick and Tormund need to be at the wall when the whites attack, so we care. It's not just abstract, the walls coming down.
Barrick's there. That's because that's where he went.
Yeah, Barrick and Tormund are there. Eye Patch Guy and Tormund are there. So it helps us like, oh shit, the wall's coming down, as opposed to like an abstract, oh, the wall's coming down. You know what I mean? Yeah, you need somebody there to make you care. In this version, Tormund is missing a limb, but he's still there. I like your idea though of killing him above and beyond Barrick. The wall, be a Barrick, because he hasn't been doing shit. He hasn't like been any major. He hasn't been important for a long time. Also, sorry, bringing it back just a little bit. Didn't understand the importance of the Red Woman being old when she took off that magic,
it was like trying to establish that maybe the magic is real, or
it is. I also think
like
it was supposed to establish that she's vulnerable, because at that point, since they delayed an episode, like maybe she won't be able to bring John back. Of course she will.
Yeah, she will.
Of course she will.
Sorry, just want to bring that up because just the Lord of Fire, Lord of Light.
Yeah.
I'm like, you better like pop out. You better have like a Jesus moment where he just like comes and like, second coming, and he like just annihilates a whole army.
Yeah.
Cool. I like this. Beyond the Wall, I still want it to be 2 episodes. I like the way it plays out with or
the episode before 2 episodes to set it up.
There you go. Yeah. But I did like how it played out like the bear. I do like your idea of having the cave and having waves.
Yeah.
But you're missing a couple important things.
Yes.
I liked how the bear came out of the snow. It it came out of nowhere, and I like that idea of kind of like raptors in the tall grass, kind of like that kind of like, I don't know where the fuck it is. Yeah. In the cave, you're like, that's also fun because I like this also sneak attack. Yeah. But you don't have Gendry using his warhammer. And you don't have him passing it off to the Hound.
Yeah, he's pretty much gone.
Yeah, you get
off on the jump. No, he uses it in the fighting. The group.
That's I just wanted to add that in there. Yeah. I wanted a little addendum. He's the one who, like, I want him dropping from a tall, like 10-foot rock onto a White Walker, and the bones just shatter everywhere. And then he takes him out with. He teams up with give Beric and Thoros.
Yeah.
Close enough. You give them a moment to get they get their cool moment. They can die soon, or they can leave soon. Yeah. Gendry leaves. He goes to the wall. That way, it's like it's cool that you brought Gendry, but you don't need him. You don't need a whole episode of him running because nowhere in previous seasons is it established that he's a fast runner.
Yeah. It's not like part of his bit.
Yeah, it's not his. Yeah,
it's not like that one time when they were trying to run from whatever. Artie looks at him like, wow. Gendry's so fast.
Yeah. Also, you could, even though they get the White Walker, they get the Raven saying, "Oh, the White Walker's fine," and then that makes sense time-wise why they're up there, and it gives Dany some time to make the decision to come.
Yeah.
And it would be cool, like as like a surprise, to have the dragon come. You see the fire because that's a cool visual. But we get some moments with. I don't want Dany to seem weak and dependent on Jon.
Yes.
But do you think there's a way to have her bring up strategically why she needs the King of the North still alive? Because she doesn't know about Sansa. She doesn't know that someone's up there running. You can assume because that's how hierarchy works. But maybe what's her motivation to go and help?
Well, in my version, it's the same as it was before, where it's just there's so many people she cares about up there.
Yeah.
That
Jorah makes sense. Yeah. Jon makes.
But I do like the idea that like we can't just have. Then we have a whole new ruler we need to make friends with if we let the King of the North die up there.
Yeah.
So I like that.
I would like a scene,
especially as her. Even if that's not really the reason, the real reason's like she has the hots for Jon and she likes Jorah. The reason she gives is, well, we can't have the King of the North die up there. You know what I mean?
And he gave great advice for the loot train battle.
Yes.
Yeah, that was basic. I mean, she executed it.
Yeah.
And those 2 guys. But that was his idea. It's like you need to show that you're willing to fight. You can't just go melting cities because that doesn't win anybody over. Like, so it makes sense. I like your pitch. Biggest takeaway: they need to explain the runes. They need to dip into White Walker magic. And I really hope in the final season we go back to that weird temple area where they took the baby and they turned the baby into a white.
Oh yeah.
Into white. Do you call the White Walkers the
White Walkers are the main guys. Those zombies are whites.
Whites. Okay, so the White Walkers clearly that baby got turned into a White Walker.
Yes.
And I want to see. Come back to that. I want to know what that is, because it's not the tree that we saw in the flashback where that guy got turned into a White Walker.
No. That's where we were with the Spear Mountain thing.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So I want to come back to that.
No.
And make weapons out of dragon glass, guys. Like if you were going to go up there,
if you rewatch it, Tormund has his axe, his club thing is made out of dragon glass. Jorah has a dragon glass dagger. They all have dragon glass weapons.
They make a spear, make some arrows. I know it was hard to find, but you have an island that's just chock full. It's overflowing with dragon glass. I would have at
least like one shot of them actually mining the stuff, like a group of guys. Like it's like, oh, here it is.
Yeah. And
what do you do? Are you guys doing anything about it?
Yeah, and like this, and like that whole moment where like when they were in the cave, Dany and Jon.
Yes.
Did you find that super important to the story? Did that mean a lot to you?
Yeah, it was more of them building a relationship, so I was about
it. Between them. But all the information that was dropped, because none of it seemed to really...
It was more selling her on it.
Yeah.
Selling her on the facts, what the fight that they were dealing with was.
Because the more you start talking about it, the more I thought about, like, yeah, the rune is there.
Yeah.
And he's seen it.
Mm-hmm.
So why doesn't he, like, bring up, like, anything? Or even we get a moment where he glances at it and the camera shows that, like, oh, he recognizes that. And that then they, like, bring it up later. Or why isn't that rune, like, an opposite to it, like an antithesis of that? Is that how they use that word?
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at me. But on the wall. You know, they said there's deep magic or runes in the wall. Put them on the wall. Like, this CGI, just stamp them in there. Like, don't make it a big deal. Yeah, there's a couple things they need to build out with the White Walkers, which is tough because the next season's 7 episodes. 6 episodes less.
No.
Yep. Oops. But I remember Trisha said some of the episodes are 2 hours, which
we'll see.
Shockingly, I'm like, hell yeah. I'm actually excited about it if they're longer because you need that. You need time to figure all this shit out. But we do have tweets. Yeah,
we do have a few tweets of stuff that you guys wanted to see. Chris Johnson at Unknown Nerd 404. I wanted to see more of Ghost. The dragons are amazing, but give the direwolf some love. Yeah, I don't think they showed up all this season.
We got Arias.
That's true.
And by the way,
I love that scene. By the way,
how to make me hate Ramsay more? Every time he would throw out Rickon's direwolf head, Shaggy Dog kept throwing that thing around. And I was like, hey, stop it. Yeah. Like, I got it.
Chopping off Theon's dick. Sam doesn't care. Killing the direwolf.
Boy, was I getting tired of having a lot of scenes with Theon. Like,
that's season 3. That's rough. That's
rough.
We could have tightened things up a little.
No, I just mean throughout the entire show. I'm like, he is so important to a lot. Like, not important. Sorry, he's just in a lot of scenes by himself, and that's how we get Ramsay into like the fold of Game of Thrones. Man, I was just like, I would like to know what other Brienne and Podrick, are they having goofy side quests? Like, can we go over to them, please? Like, I don't want to know what Theon.
You're a little Theon out, but the finale scene with Theon was real good.
Yeah, up until that scene though, I was like, God damn it, Theon's here. Like, come on, what's Theon doing here? Like, I mean, it gave Euron someone to be mad at.
No,
and then he like shit talks. I'm like, okay, it makes sense. And then you have that whole scene with Theon and Jon. And you're like,
I love that scene.
It's good, but
loved it.
Pertaining to what's happening.
Yeah.
Theon, wrong time to ask, man. Like, we lost a dragon. We're building this whole battle to go up north.
Yeah.
Come on. But it made sense. It paid off. Also, you got the awesome moment where he gets kicked in the crotch and it doesn't do anything. And I'm like, that was your best. You had some pretty good eunuch jokes.
Yeah.
It was in the end of season 6 where they were up at who's Sansa's like uncle or whatever, you know, like Jaime went to talk to him. He's like, we're not leaving this castle.
Oh, yeah. Blackfish.
Where Jaime asked Bronn to like help them dig trenches because the Frey army is they're awful.
Yes.
But the joke is like, oh, you know, you're great at making trenches or whatever. Is like saying I'm good at making trenches is saying that I have the biggest cock in the Unsullied army. It was like that was a good no pee-pee joke. I like that. I got another tweet here. Ash at Astro Agama. What if Sansa and Arya killed Littlefinger in episode 3 and just united and ruled the North? What would they do?
We just ignore them for the next 4 episodes.
Yeah, I do like your reason for like building up Littlefinger, but I feel like there could have been. I would have liked to see, because he's such a vindictive dude, Littlefinger. He's smart too, but he is vindictive. I would have liked him undermining Jon because Jon attacks him in the crypt.
Yeah,
I would have liked if he had used that to kind of like get it, Sansa, get it Arya, get it anybody. Like use that as a way of getting back at him. And then when he tries to like bark up like Bran's tree, he realizes that Bran knows everything he's done, so maybe he needs to shut the fuck up and like then it gives him a reason to go back to Sansa.
Interesting. What if instead of doing the whole like trying to break Arya and Sansa up, he realizes what a threat Bran is and he tries to like orchestrate Bran's death?
Exactly. You use Sansa because he's like, I know how to manipulate her. Really, he can't anymore. But because now she's next level, she can see past his bullshit. That he tries to undermine Jon and Bran and Arya. Like he definitely tries to undermine Arya, but throw Bran in there too. Throw all the Starks. Like, hey, just make you the last Stark. Why not? And then he tries to kiss her again, and I fucking vomit because I fucking hated that scene.
Same here. D at Dimnik. Tyrion revealed as a Targaryen. That's a long-running fan theory that probably won't pay off.
Yeah, because man, all he did was watch or listen to them have sex.
Yeah, I get where it comes from because Dany's dad supposedly had a thing for the Lannister mom before she was married to Tywin.
Mm.
So that's where that theory comes from.
Do you think we have to kill the Ice Dragon?
Yes. To get to the Night's King.
Yeah. Do you think there's like going to be a way? Because you guys were talking about like that whole prophecy of the 3 dragons or whatever.
That's Trisha's thing. I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But Trish was talking about this like fan theory that 3 people were going to ride the 3 dragons and then win the world. But what if they like figure out a way to turn it back?
Maybe Bran can warg into it.
There you go. And then Tyrion hops on.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to happen.
No.
He can't warg into the White Walkers.
There's also a theory going around that perhaps Dragonfire can't kill the Night's King. So they're going to have to do... There's the Prince That's Promised, all that shit. The original guy... You talk about Second Coming shit. It's supposed to be his Second Coming shit. But the original guy had to forge... He tried to forge the sword and fire and it didn't work. And then he tried to forge it in the heart of like a horse or something. And eventually to forge it, he had to stab it in the heart of the woman he loved most, which killed her, but it made the sword that was able to defeat the Night's King and send the Whites back. So there's a theory that like maybe they find out that Dragonfire can't kill the Night's King, so they're gonna have to make this crazy sword, and either John or Danny's gonna have to put a sword in the heart of the other one.
Oh,
which seems too. We've gotten very fantasy.
Yeah,
that still seems like too.
That's Once Upon a Time on ABC.
Yeah,
fantasy. Huh, I don't like that.
No.
I don't like that a lot. I did have...
Sam's all aboard on the incest. He wants them to keep making incest babies.
I brought this up. If you guys watch a review of the final episode, I'm like, it's so funny that like you and Trisha were like, but you know, like they're aunt and nephew, right? Like it's okay. Like it does. Like you weren't like justifying it, but you're trying to find the reasons.
I like them together. I want it to not be bad. And I know it is bad, but I want it to not be bad.
Kit Harington came out and was like, yeah, or maybe it was Amelia Clark. They were like, yeah, like it makes sense story-wise, but we weren't really happy with it. Like, I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Gross. I mean, hey, Cersei and Jaime had to just deal with it. Their actors had to just be like, okay, we're brother and sister. Let's pork.
No. Jake Sarmazian. Hey, Jake.
Shout out.
At Jay Sarmazian. I would have liked to see the Clegane Bowl actually happen, but I'm glad that the Hound basically confirmed that it's going to happen.
Who coined that term?
No idea. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. It's probably going to happen on the battlefield or something. I need to see the Hound get turned into a White Walker, like when he gets close to the Whites. Like,
the Mountain?
The Mountain. Because he is one, basically. Yeah. He's undead. Like, are we having multiple versions of the undead? I want him to, like, when he gets close, it's like, radio interference, and then like he turns and like rips Cersei's arm off or something like that. You're like, Jesus.
Talking about using the old, like people trying to use like the old myths within the books to like explain what could happen.
Yeah.
The Night's King in the book, as opposed to being the first White Walker, was one of the initial Night Watch commanders. That fell in love. In the books of the others, which is another name for the White Walkers, are apparently like beautiful, like ghostly and beautiful and whatever, as opposed to like weird ice muscle creatures in the show.
Hey, that flowing hair though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he falls in love with a female. It's like ice white skin, blue eyes. It's a female White Walker. Falls in love with her. Declares himself the Night's King. Commits horrendous atrocities for 13 years, and then he's thrown down, and all information about him is burned, and all this shit. So it's like I was thinking about, could they flip it and have Cersei become the queen to the Night's King?
Oh, that would be fucking rad. That would be a really cool twist. Or just see the dragon glass go through her heart and she turns into it. Like that'd be real cool. Don't bring back the Children of the Forest.
Nope, Sam's not a fan.
I'm all done with that.
Yeah.
From my point of view, that made no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, for the show that's fantasy, I was like, I can't follow what's happening here. This is silly. We got another tweet.
Oh, real quick. Speaking of the Clegane Bowl.
Oh, yes.
I did have a what if when they brought the body to... If I were to continue my what if to the next episode, I'd cut out everything where Cersei's like, actually, I'm going to betray them. Like, I just have the plan work. And then later, like episode 3 of next season, then she betrays them. They're like, oh shit, I want a few episodes of them working together.
Yeah.
But what if when Cersei brings them down there, she's like, dead body. That's cool. Fuck you. Trial by combat. We're going to see who rules the kingdom right here, right now. Trial by combat. And Dany's like, well, what are you going to do? How are you going to make me do that? She's like, well, either that or you're going to have to invade the city right now and murder all these people. Basically, Cersei's like, I'm going to blow up the kingdom one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why we get the Clegane Bowl in that episode. And the whole Cersei, in a shocking twist, the whole Cersei thing is resolved at the finale of the season. One where, like, she loses the Clegane Bowl. Or what I was thinking is, what if she actually goes to have Jaime killed, Jaime kills her, and then Jaime's killed by the Mountain. And then you have Euron going to get the Golden Army, so Euron's the one with the Golden Company.
Yeah.
In the next season. And Cersei's, the whole Lannister plotline is just done by the end of this season.
Jeez. Nah, I need Jaime. But I feel like, okay, what if it might be too, like, oh man, it could be really interesting though. It could be a really interesting scene. What if now Jaime's running up north?
Yeah.
And Winter's hit King's Landing.
Yeah.
What if she still sends her army up there as like a ploy?
Yeah.
That just waiting, basically just buying time to figure out a way to kill Dany and Jon and take the whole army. But Jaime is like, no, you cannot trust her, and tries to like speak out about it.
Yeah.
But maybe the Mountain gets to him in the middle of the night and like not kills him, maybe kills him or just takes him into custody or something like that. But because I don't think the Mountain will kill him. Or at least I don't think Cersei's going to kill Jaime. Yeah. But I think she'll kill Tyrion. Like or wants to kill Tyrion.
Oh, least. Definitely.
I would like her to try to still like team up a little bit. You see how big the Golden Company and the North and the Dothraki and everybody teaming up together, how cool that would look against the White Walkers. I just don't need 2 sides, or 3 sides, I mean, where it's Cersei versus the North and the Targaryens and then the White Walkers. That's a little much.
Yeah, interesting. I'm very interested to see how this season plays out, because a lot of people talked about like, oh, there weren't a lot of deaths. I still found the season very surprising because like when Jon gets the letter to go visit Dany, and everybody's like, no, you shouldn't. I started thinking immediate normal Game of Thrones rules, like a bunch of bullshit. Like Jon can't go meet Dany for like 5 episodes, and then the finale finally does. Next episode, he's there meeting Dany. I'm like, oh, you know what I mean?
Don't waste time.
Jasmine D'Souza at Jasmine Souza 4.
I had one idea really quick.
Yeah.
How the Mountain dies.
Yes.
Gets stomped by a dragon.
Love it.
Or gets just like chewed up and thrown at the White Walkers, and they just like tear him apart or something like that.
Becomes the new Night's King. Kills the Night's King and Cersei. Turns out the Mountain's the big bad the whole time.
He can actually think.
Yeah.
In there, he's just like, oh, I'll do whatever I want. Maybe I can figure out a way to make my eyes grow back, because they're definitely rotten out of his head. Yeah. I don't even know how he can see. He's probably just like listening. Yeah. It's like, that sounds like Cersei. What if he's like just walking around the city like thinking he's following Cersei? He's like, no, go back. Like, no, you're not.
That's why he didn't kill Jaime. She nodded. He's like, I don't know. I'm going to pull my sword out. Ow. Did you nod? She's going to have to say something. She's going to have to use her words. Jasmine D'Souza writes, she wanted to see Jon reuniting with Arya. Very excited about that. And she put a gif of like Arya hugging Jon because they had a really great rapport.
That'd be cool. And then we got a tweet here from Iqbal. Shout out. I wanted to see Jon and Jaime interacting and more info on the Walkers. We haven't learned anything more about them all season. Yep, we're in the same boat there. Yep. I really need to learn more. Like, I need to learn a lot. And, I was about to say, we're definitely going to get, like, a Voltron Season 3 episode where it's like, let's turn the clock back 1,000 years. How's it, 1,000 years? 10,000 years? However long ago.
Thousands of years. Yeah.
Thousands of years.
I think it's like 8,000.
And you see the young Night King. Oh, he's such a... We could root for this guy. Oh, no, he's turned bad. So when we come to the final battle, you're like... I don't want the Night King to die. It's like, no, he's
the worst.
He's literally like the devil. Like, you need him to die. But we're going to get... I have a feeling in my soul that we're going to an episode where Bran just is able to, like, turn it back far enough in the timeline to, like, actually see what happened. Like, he already did. He saw, like, the creation of the Night King, but it's like, maybe watch a little bit past that.
Right. Do we know it was confirmed that was the Night King?
That was the first White Walker. Maybe?
No.
I don't know. Now, don't ask me on Game of Thrones facts. I'm not the one to ask. But
same as our Game of Thrones expert.
Hit me up with your cues, and I'll right in your face. Well, I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I like your pitch.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me.
Writers at Game of Thrones, because I tried to think of it, I was like, just want more White Walker stuff. Like the part of the show that I like the most, I mean, obviously the character stuff is really fun. I do enjoy the fantasy aspect. That's the stuff I like. I like the sci-fi aspect, the make-believe, like dive into that, and I'm all for it. Like when the wall fell, I'm like, this is so cool. Guys, Tormund's not dead. At the very most, Barrick's dead. And he's probably gonna be barely alive when, like, in the beginning of the next season, you're like, oh no, Barrick, say the last thing about the Lord of Light, and he'll say like 4 prophecy things,
and then he starts glowing, and like he shoots up into space, glowing.
Okay. And he turns into the sun that's in the opening credits, and you're like, oh, that's Barrick. Stupid. Don't let me write this show.
So I'm wondering. I am interested to see, because it's like there could be a version of the show within the first 2 episodes of next season where they deal with the White Walkers.
Yeah,
because they're gonna have to deal with it soon. Like I feel
they have to explain.
I feel like
deal with it.
Done. Like I feel like Jon and Dany are gonna end up in Winterfell, like, hey, family reunion, and Bran's like, more than you know, and the White Walkers are there immediately.
I can't wait for the moment when Jon gets to Winterfell and Sam's like, hey, Bran and I need to talk. Anyway. And I go on, can Dany come? And he gives a little smooch, and he's like, nope, I think it's gonna be just you, and we'll bring her in after, because I know you more. And I've heard that she's burned people alive, so we'll stick with you, and then we'll go from there. I can't wait for that scene, though.
And then Sam's like, okay, we're just gonna take Jon here real quick. She's like, Dany's like, who are you? Oh, I'm Samwell Tarly. She's like, ooh, Tarly. And
here's your brother and dad. We scooped him up with a shot bag. And then, like,
great. I want the scene to play out exactly like that.
I can't wait for Sam to be the one that kills the Night King.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the one that does it.
He's got that big Valyrian steel sword from his family's home.
Oh, it's gonna be Bran. I don't know.
It's not gonna be Bran.
Bran's gonna turn back time, and what if he's the one that creates the Night King? We don't know if that's the Night King being created.
The theory is that he is the Night King.
You hate that, though.
I do hate that.
But what if, makes sense. Because he doesn't do the time travel shit anymore, or tries not to? What if, though, he is maybe like what if he can bring someone with him, so that, like, he brings Jon with him to watch?
Oh, that'd be cool.
And you realize that they're kind of responsible for the creation of the Night King, and they're like, oh, don't worry, we know how to kill him. Sorry about your dragon and everything else bad that happened, because it's kind of our fault. Yeah. Oops. No, you couldn't root for Jon anymore if that was his fault.
And I feel like they've made too many, like, the reason the Night King has a dragon is because of their stupid mistakes. There's too many, like, but the bad things happened because of bad decision making. So it's like, we need to maybe dial that back a little bit.
Man, I was excited for the White Walkers to come to King's Landing and, like, make all the dead come back to life. But then Cersei just fucking obliterated a lot of dead bodies. Yep. Like, you could have had Tywin come back as like or like someone that looked like Tywin, or Marjorie, or Loras. Not him.
he's the immortal Iron Fist.
Yeah, he is. Or just barefoot. I hate you. How many times do you say that in the show, guys? If you did that, you got some awesome people out there tallied up our dumbass scores. Yeah. Tally up how many times Danny Rand said, "I'm the immortal Iron Fist," or "I'm Iron Fist," or "I have the Iron Fist," or "I don't care." Forward always. Remember that? As Luke Cage, everyone's favorite Luke Cage catchphrase. Yep. Not Sweet Christmas.
Exactly.
Anyways, talking about different shows. I want mythology. Get into the mythology. Explain it to me. I need it fed to me. Yes. I don't need to. I'm not
like a baby bird.
Like a baby bird. Vomit it right into my eyes and ears, into my moist little ears. Wait a minute, that's you guys. Anyways, final thoughts.
I'm kind of shocked with how obsessed I've become with Game of Thrones after this season. Like, I started just researching shit from the books and everything.
Nice.
I don't know why.
Nerd. We've all done that, though.
Yeah, because I've always been into the show, but, like,
now it's
gotten a little out of hand. I'm very excited to see where the next season goes. I'm hoping that they put things up in a way that, like, people are pleased with the way the season plays out, because I'm a little tired of hearing people bitch about it.
Mm-hmm. You know what I need? Ice mammoths.
Yes.
Nate does real bad.
Excited about it.
Dragon battle in the sky.
Would you like ice spiders too?
Give me any ice animals. That's really cool. If we got a bear, give me a spider. Give me a big. God, how scary would that be coming over the walls of Winterfell? Like, you see the dragon come and you're like, what's that sound? And then like giants on mammoths come in and spiders crawl over walls. You're like, oh shit, we're dead. Like there's nothing we can do right now. Also, Winterfell is probably gonna fall.
Yeah.
Winterfall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't see a way they can
save that. No, not at all. Like there's no way that's gonna make it.
Season finale, we see all the White Walkers come to the wall. Like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
That whole army, that whole line, like it's like the Force extended, right? And then giant spiders crawl between them and start climbing the wall. And you're like taking people off of it. And you're like, oh no!
No, it would have been.
And then the dragon comes.
Is the term jumping the shark? Is that what the term is in
yes.
movies? It's when the dragon showed up and spiders. And you're like, what?
Wait a second.
But if it was like if the Night's King shows up on a giant ice spider, fucking cool. Even though the undead horses look really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, need mammoths, giants, more dead animals that have come back to life. Super cool. Need a dragon battle in the sky.
Yep. You're gonna get that.
But I kind of hope, just because I'm mean, I hope first episode back they're like, whoo-wee, that was a bad battle with the White Walkers, right? Got those out of the way. Really cool how you got the Night King, how you killed him.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then they go back, gotta take care of Cersei, right? In a boring battle.
Yeah.
Too bad all the dragons died. Am I right, everybody? And our army's been
halved. No more. Unfortunately, most of the armies were killed in the battle with the Night's King, so now it's a bunch of talking.
Yeah,
which I'd actually be on board for.
You'd be on board for what I just pitched.
Yes, a bunch of talking.
Oh,
for 6 episodes.
But you want the skipping all the battle? Is that what you want?
Yes.
Liar.
No, I'm kidding.
But let us know.
I'm kidding.
Let us know what you think of the what ifs. DJ has a good pitch. I'm on board. Tell me if you got theories for White Walkers or what they are. Anything, send it to me because now I care. Mm-hmm. Yay. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in to our Game of Thrones What If episode. We love doing these What If episodes. And let us know what other things you'd like us to touch upon in the future, because we have a bunch of big movies coming out.
Yes.
This week, we're going to be going to see It.
Yes.
With a special guest. We can tease that. And maybe if it's been getting great reviews, but if we're not on board, maybe we'll do a what if for that or for other horror movies, maybe Stranger Things. I don't know. We got ideas like that, but let us know. Hit us up on Twitter at Sam Basher,
at DJ Talks Trash,
at OnlyStupidAnswers, but
yank out the bells from stupid.
Find all that at
OnlyStupidAnswers.com.
That's cool. But also make sure you check back on our Patreon, patreon.com/OnlyStupidAnswers. A poll's coming out, or actually should be up, because we record this Wednesday, going up Thursday, for voting on what movie we should watch for our next movie night in September. Yay! So keep your peepers peeled. Anything else?
We'll see you next time.
We love you. Stay hydrated. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hoo-wee, all those dumb audio people are gone. Am I right, everybody?
Right? Oh, no.
Hope you guys enjoyed. And let us know in the comments down below, or just on our social media, what you guys thought of it. And just so you guys know, we've got another review type show coming out soon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys, as a video people,
yeah, big announcements for that. That's very cool.
You guys are going to be getting some cool stuff with cool people. We're very excited about it. And keep an eye out.
Bye-bye.
What if we sat this close when we did our videos?
We'd both be in focus.
You'd see how greasy I get during these recordings. I can't help it.